The first two questions come from fans of the HFPA Social. So if you like to indulge us, here are questions from the fans. What was the most gratifying part of working on this project? Anyone can pick the answer.
I mean, I have to say the collaboration amongst these actors was a remarkable gift. You know, these are all actors who, under any conditions, would be first on a call sheet. They all have enormous star power, and yet they all work together to support each other in a way that it was immensely demanding, and that they all just gave so much to each other, and that was very gratifying.
And again, please, everybody feel free to answer. What was your initial reaction when you heard of the nomination?
We were thrilled and excited. Pretty excited.
Well, it's the icing on the cake. You guys are amazing, and you know you're opinion leaders, so you're approving of our series. If you hadn't given us all these wonderful nominations and acknowledged us to this depth, it would have been a disappointing year. And we've been very lucky this year, but you made it. You made the year. So thank you, thank you.
Well said.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure they'll have some question for you.
There's a question?
Yeah, you're
There's a question.
Yes,
Sure.
Mr.
Brown. Trying to see who's talking. Can't see her. Whoever wants to go, go.
Congratulations again to all of you. Question, now that you've had a year to really absorb, almost a year since it premiered,
Yes.
did it surprise you the depth of the chord that this struck about starting the conversation, or contributing to the conversation about race in America? And what would you say has surprised you about the sort of resonance of this project?
Unfortunately, it's not that surprising because the show is more relevant than what it should be. You would think in 20 years' time in this country that things would have progressed to such a place where you look back on it and be like, oh, how interesting that was back then. But back then is what's happening right now. And so the fact that a primarily African-American jury in Los Angeles could find fault with the police department is not that surprising. We've gotten a lot of ocular proof over the past 2 years of police misconduct, an institution that's supposed to protect and serve, and a lot of people don't always feel protected or served. And so I think it's because of all of the things that we've been able to see that there's a level of understanding that people may not have had 20 years ago when that jury made the decision that they did to acquit. I think what's really beautiful about what our writers and producers created was that the conversation existed in such a way that people who were appalled with that decision now understood the other side, and people who actually celebrated that decision got a chance to see the amount of evidence that the prosecution had and can actually say, like, well, maybe that wasn't exactly the right approach either. So hopefully both sides started to understand each other, and instead of just being in fights all the time.
Right over here.
Yeah. Anybody else want to take that? No, I'm just. Hey, thanks. Okay.
For anyone, what do you think OJ would think about this, and do you
Come on, man.
care?
Somebody else can take it. Come on.
And do you care?
I don't think we care. Get up there. I don't think we care.
We've never met him. So
Nobody
we
said it
don't
to
know.
the
I think that that when we were developing the show, the thing that we wanted was for everybody to get insight to what these main characters went through, especially the prosecution, the defense, and to see the other side. And that was the main concern, that we make something that had a lot of complexity. That was the objective for the show. We didn't really think about O.J. Simpson and what he would think. It was mainly about the legal teams that we wanted to present. That was the objective.
I just want to say, before everybody leaves, Sarah Paulson won the Best Actress in this category.
Hey,
We have a couple of questions.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay. Chris, with GMA Philippines directly in front of you. Many of the people on the speaking of the legal team, many people on the legal team and many people that were part of this, they were in interviews saying that they were a little upset they weren't interviewed by the actors, and some of them, didn't even watch the actual show, and some of them also weren't happy about the show coming out. Now that it's kind of marinated, what is your opinions about some of the people that are actually a part of this, and what they thought of
What
the
is your
show?
question? What I think about them wondering why we weren't contacting them?
Yeah, that was a big thing. They felt they weren't contacted.
I
and
can't
they
speak to that. I myself didn't speak to Marcia until I think we had completed episode 7. We were not trying to tell the story from any of their particular points of view in terms of their personal stakes in it. This was something that we were trying to shed light on that may not have always completely lined up with their opinion about what it was that happened. So, I don't really know how to answer that exactly. Sorry. Oh, well, that was a great question. I'm so glad that's great. Thank you.
Why didn't you talk to Dershowitz?
I know I should have talked to Dershowitz. Thank you, guys. Thank you.